What up? What up? What up? What up? When you look at the program as a whole, what message is it really trying to send? If y'all seen The Dark Knight, Joker said everything burns. He said it's not about money. It's about sending a message, a notification. So what is they trying to send? What message is they trying to send us? Well, how I take it is, they showed me just about everything. So I take it as they control everything. But starting with the colors, right? The political party, red and blue. The gangs, Bloods and Crips, red and blue. First responders, local law enforcement, red and blue. The American flag, red, white, and blue. Representing the political legal system and its authority over people. Red meaning blood war, white as control and purity, and blue as authority, government. It showcased the machinery required to establish and maintain a state of mind, a state of being. Their organization is made up of governing bodies, referred as a collective entity. They can mean that as a literal entity or something psychological, sociological. It's called governing bodies for a reason. I believe it's more psychological though. How do national symbols create collective identity and loyalty? You salute it, you pledge allegiance to it, place it in schools, put it on military uniforms, display it at government buildings. Therefore, the symbol trains people to psychologically identify themselves with the state governing bodies. Most of your perpetrators have American flags on their card. Everywhere you go, there is a flag on the building, flag stickers, right? Now, what message is Kendrick Lamar trying to send? They not like us. What message was he trying to send? Because it's all about sending a message. You really can't say what you want to say. You gotta send a message, or else you might run the risk of getting in trouble. Just like when the target individual step outside, you hear sirens. That's a distress signal. Extreme danger. Look up what the American flag look like upside down. The message was historical exploitation. I'm gonna go into that. Moving from slavery and railroad construction to the modern music industry, and arguing that the same basic economic pattern can persist. The symbol for America, the eagle, the 13, the eye providence, all of these things represents symbol and enduring, meaning it's long lasting, which is why our troubles is endurance, strength through endurance. The symbol of it is very enduring. Now, someone else creates the cultural value while another person accumulates benefits from it. Who create culture, who controls it, who profits from it, who gets to define it. Gang stalking is a subculture. Who controls gang stalking? In a sense, the question will be, who creates the narrative? Who has the power to amplify or suppress it? Who benefits from the narrative? And who has the authority to define the phenomenon means? Institutions plus power plus narratives plus perception. I am no longer merely living inside the culture. I have become the subject of the culture's machinery. The narrative works like this. The central authority allegedly needs deniability. Instead of one visible organization interacting with the target, the narrative imagines layers of ordinary people who appear unrelated. Civilians become participants through different mechanisms. Social pressure, everyone else is doing it. Authority, people trust someone perceived as an authority figure. Money and incentives, someone receive a benefit for cooperating. Fear, someone believes refusing could create consequences for themselves. Group identity, participation has become a part of belonging to a group. Misinformation, people are allegedly given a distorted explanation of the target. Normalization, repeated behavior makes something unusual seem ordinary. The target supposedly can't identify the command structure. These are layers. From the TI perspective, it could therefore look like random people independently behaving strangely, while the narrative interprets those people as connective participants. The psychological mechanism that makes this narrative especially powerful is if you already believe there is a hidden network. Ambiguous behavior becomes evidence of coordination. Someone look at you, they're involved. Someone say something unusual, they were instructed. A coincidence happened, that was deliberate. Someone denies involvement, they're covering up. And now the system becomes self-sealing, enduring, unbearable. Almost anything possible observation can be interpreted as confirmation. How can an institution theoretically influence ordinary people to participate in something without those people fully understanding the larger purpose. This is the secret how they can get away with it. Through layered influence rather than everyone knowing the whole plan. An institution can theoretically get ordinary people to participate without revealing the larger purpose through mechanisms like compartmentalization. Each person receives only a small task, so they don't see the whole operation. Authority. People comply because they believe the request comes from a legitimate authority. Incentive, the social conformity, the framing, the gradual escalation. Someone starts with a harmless action and then progressively asks to do more. So they do more because they gain their trust. They gain their reliability. Slow drip. This fusion of responsibility. People assume someone else knows whether this is appropriate. Ideology, group identity. People cooperate because they believe they're protecting their community, country, organization, or values. They are the state body. These are governing bodies. What you expect? They govern bodies. Corporate entities. Legal entities, spirituality, desensitization, disconnection from humanity. What do you have? So they control what information people receive, can change what they believe they're participating in. Fear, coercion. People may comply because they believe refusing will have consequences. Decision makers set objective. Managers, intermediaries translate objectives into instructions. Participants perform individual actions. Outcome. This mechanism doesn't require every participants to be the conscious in on the larger objective. And this isn't merely a conspiracy theory concept. Versions of these mechanisms have been studied in military organizations, corporations, intelligence operations, propaganda system, abusive organizations, and bureaucracies. There was a book, you can look it up, called Rulers of Evil. Useful knowledge about governing bodies. So this book is best understood as a provocative theory about hidden power, political institutions, religions, symbolisms, and historical influences. Now, this is very deep because this is the secret of how they get away with it. So, the biggest idea, power is often deeper than the visible government. Meaning what we see isn't always what you think. What they show you isn't necessarily... Basically, they tell us about Area 51. Yeah, they might be covering up an Area 52. What you see can be possibly the front, but not the back. Power is often deeper than the visible government. We have no president. You see the president. We have no president. Someone else is in control. We have no government. Someone else is in control. Called the deep state. See, what he had said was, who actually has influence behind the institutions we see? He argued that elected officials and formal governments aren't necessarily the whole power struggle or the whole power structure. He looks for influence through religion, organizations, education, political networks, symbolism, institutions, and historical relationships. Governments really are influenced by institutions outside of government. Religious organizations, corporations, wealthy donors, lobbying groups, professional networks, media, universities, military organizations, etc. that doesn't automatically prove a single hidden organization that controls everything. Institutions matter more than individual politicians. One of the strongest lessons you can extract from the book is stop looking at politics as simply political A did X or the government did this. No. Instead, who created the institutions? Who funds it? Who staffs it? Who supports it? Whose name is written on the letter? Who benefits from its policy? What incentives keeps it operating? These are the questions. Who is funding it? Who's funding the program? Who write the checks? Who was doing these things? Who created this institution? When was it created? Then you will figure out that it's bigger than X doing this and this. No. See, that's a much more powerful way of analyzing political power. Historical power can survive after political regimes change. That's why America represents strength and duration. Symbolism is long lasting. Even if society crashed, people will still be working to build society back. They will be looking to build a new America. Even if everything falls, people will go right back to the same script, telling the same stories, the same lies, giving you the same Bible over and over again. Nothing original, nothing made up, even though everything's made up. He believed institutions can survive enormous political changes. The general principle is legitimate. Political regimes change faster than institutions do. Organizations can preserve knowledge, traditions, network, wealth, ideology, personnel, relationship, administration technique for centuries, like a time capsule. How you think they able to start with MK Ultra and then out the bag MK Ultra 2.0? They stopped it, started right back up like they never left. Almost like they can put it here and take it there and sending a message. Started with the railroads. No. Started with the boats. The rich people on the yachts. The Titanic. The ships. Then it started with the railroads. Transferring goods. Information was passed on by birds. It's about sending that message. That's one reason studying institutional history can reveal things that simply studying presidents and elections won't. Symbols can communicate political ideas. This is why I like, paying attention to monuments, architecture, artwork, mottos, and government symbolism. His proposition is that power doesn't communicate only through laws. It communicates through culture and symbols. That's worth taking serious. But this is also, where the book becomes speculative. Sometimes, he interprets symbols as evidence of a deliberate hidden program. He also say like symbols equals evidence worth investigating. He also talked about the Jesuits as important political networks. He also say that the Jesuits play a much larger role in American political development, historical knowledge. Historic convenient histories. He goes particularly far arguing that the Jesuits' influence was instrumental in the American Revolution. Check the book out though. But the real book lesson is studying the machinery of power. It is a machine, y'all. It's a machine. Red, white, and blue. Think about it. Without the pure, without the innocent, there wouldn't be. Okay, let me put it like this. I tell y'all, this blood war that we in. Red and blue. White. Red and blue makes purple. Also representing the crown chakra. It's the machine. They need us for it to work. They need us. We are needed to make the machine work. Without us, the machine wouldn't work. If every TI decided to just get up and go somewhere else, society will fall. The machine needs us. We are seeing the machine being put against us. Because we are outside the culture. It is a cultural machine. Who defines it? Who controls it? Who sponsor it? They let the celebrities go on and rap about it. Donald Trump sponsorships, commercials, ads, the gold chains, the cars, sell it to you, dress your kids up like it. It's the machine. They're creating clones out here, y'all. But it also is a governing body. They govern bodies. They govern people. They govern your body even when you're gone. But see, this is probably the most valuable takeaway. Instead of asking, who is the bad guy? Ask, how does power actually move, y'all? It was transporting goods. It was the transportation of goods. That's how it started. How else you gonna get the gold? How else you gonna get the minerals? How you gonna pillage? If there ever was Vikings, how was they able to take and bring it back on a boat? It's transportation, instant transmission, radio. It's about sending that message. How does power actually move? You answer that question. You figure out, how does the purpose move? How does the information get around? Who is funding that? Who created that? Now we are getting somewhere. Money, institutions, personnel, information, law, culture, public opinion, policy. That much more useful net framework than simply believing that a group controls everything. Don't confuse influence with total control. This is probably the most important, critical lesson from the book. There's a huge difference between influence Organization X has relationship with politician that has successful influence certain policies and total control. Organization X secretly controls the entire government. First one is common, and the second requires extraordinary evidence. His strongest insight is actually broader than I think it's called capitalism. Yeah. Visible government isn't necessarily identical to the complete structure of power. That's true in virtually every complex society. Modern political science study things like bureaucratic power, lobbying, regulatory capture, elite network, institutional campaign, and finance, and revolving doors. Because formal government doesn't explain everything. So, don't become obsessed with finding the hidden group. Become skilled at recognizing how power actually operates through the system, the symbol. How is it being passed around? Who voted for that? Who signed off on that? Then you start seeing the names. That's why the Epstein file, boy, they did so many distractions from that. Because when you start seeing the names, then what do the FBI do? They redact the names. Yo, we trying to see who is that. Why you cross that out? They get the crossing out names. Become skilled at recognizing how power actually moves. Who has authority? Who has resources? Who control information? Who select decision makers? Who benefits? What institutions survive when leadership change? What evidence will prove my theory wrong? The last question is crucial. Because once you start seeing hidden connections everywhere, confirmation bias can make every coincidence look like evidence. The strongest investigator isn't the person who finds the most connections, it's the person who can distinguish a real document connection from an interesting pattern. This is Helm. I appreciate y'all for listening. Peace.